Guest that is zooming in from Houston, Texas. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to find out everything that he has going on, including a fight with Fury Fighting Championship coming up soon. Hey, how's it going?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for taking some time today. If somebody hasn't met you, can you let them know what's your name and then where do you train out of?
Yeah, my name is Carlos Davila. I train at a Metro Fight Club and active jiu-jitsu.
How long have you been fighting? How long have you been training?
This is actually going to be my MMA debut. I've done grappling matches. I just had a stage one for Submission 100 Pro last month. That was my debut. And then I done a smoker a while back from a previous gym. But as far as MMA, this going to be my first one. And I originally I started kickboxing when I was about 18 years old. I enrolled in this kickboxing and karate gym. I had two friends that trained there. And I mean, it was okay. It was more family oriented, family style. And what really like one of the main things that got me into martial arts was like the Rocky movies. So I really like those old school gyms,
Yeah.
like hard nose, kind of dirty gyms. And so I was looking for that. And then upon late 2013, I came across Metro Fight Club.
Yeah, what was that initial reaction? You walked in, did you feel at home? Did it take a little bit to get settled in, or what is it that kept you there?
Yeah, I definitely did not feel at home at all. I don't know if you knew about my late coach, Sal Solis.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the most welcoming or friendly guy, especially if you didn't know what you were doing or if you thought you knew. Like in my case, I definitely thought I knew what I was doing, and he quickly humbled me and proved that that was not the case. So definitely a smack of reality. And but yeah, it was cool, man. I liked it. I kind of after the kickboxing gym, I enrolled in this other MMA gym, and it was definitely on the dirty side and kind of like a rundown gym, but not necessarily professional and definitely on the level of Metro Fight Club. With all due respect, and so when I came across, the first day I just knew it was the real deal. I was more like a hobbyist. Like I was very passionate about mixed martial arts, but I kind of want to do it for the wrong reasons. I more just want to like, have knockout power and be fast and just be able to defend myself. Just things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I truly loved MMA, but it wasn't like competing or anything wasn't necessarily in my mind. But just stumbling across, coming across the gym, I knew right off the bat that it was like the real deal. That it was just a different level. Just seeing the guy, seeing my coach's form of instruction, and yeah, I've been there since.
What changed in your life or your mindset that switched from having you be a hobbyist to saying, I want to compete, I want to compete now?
Yeah, just seeing it. So initially when I first started, as I previously mentioned, so like the Rocky movies really got me into it. The first fight I ever seen was UFC 71. I remember it was Rampage Jackson and Chuck Liddell was their second fight. And I just remember seeing that fight. It was my cousin's graduation party. And I just like fell in love. Like I really liked it. This is like May of 2007 or 2008. And I really liked it. But like, I mean, I was so big into WEC. I mean, I watched it back when it was on Versus, Fuel TV and everything. And just seeing it, I always liked it. But like, just kind of from like just like outside looking in, and then just after a while just seeing the guys in my gym just having fights, doing well, just I just started to see it. And like I would do the basic classes and they were great. I mean, they still are, but I want to like challenge myself. And just more time that I practice MMA, I just truly fell in love with it. And then the past maybe since like 2018, I've been pretty on top of it. So yeah, and around then is around the time that I really decided that I want to, go in to step up that career.
Hey, I got to read this comment. This is from Christian Guzman, a Space City Collective. He said, "That's my homie." You into sneakers?
Yeah. Not like him. Not like to. I mean, I like to have a fresh pair. I'm big into. I mean, anything Nike, Jordans, all that. But yeah, that's my boy, man. So big shout out to him. And everything that they're doing at Space City Collective, man. It's a dope shop, man. And yeah, have you been by there?
Oh yeah, I've been. I love it there. And I grew up and I love sneakers. I still do love sneakers. I don't get to buy as much as I wish I could. I see them and I'm like, I need that pair. But then it's so hard to get these pairs. That's why you have to know somebody like Christian and Gio to be able to get a pair.
Yeah, it's definitely what you know. They have a lot of networking and connections, and I mean they're great, man. I mean they have all these UFC fighters. They just did something for Dana White, and yeah, man, it's a dope shop, man. If anyone in Houston, or even if you're not from Houston and you haven't been, make sure you go to Space City Collective.
Yeah, and I think this weekend they're going to be at SneakerCon in San Antonio. Then on Sunday they're going to be at the Fury Fights. They're one of the sponsors there, and it's always cool to see them on the in the ring and on the side and their logos and all that. It's really cool.
Yeah, they have a dope logo with that alien too, man. It's cool.
Yeah. You know, for you, you're fighting, you're making your amateur debut for Fury. How do you see it going? Are you ready for it? And are you excited to be fighting for Fury? It's a big deal.
Yeah, no, it is, man. I'm ecstatic, as I mentioned. I know it's a game opponent. He comes out of Gracie Bottom Woodlands. I know he trains with, I know some of his main instructors and teammates are Alex Morono and Rick Tercios, who both find the UFC, tough guys, a lot of experience in both of them, and then a lot of other teammates as well. And I know he has 2 amateur fights, and he's 1-1 in MMA. He has 2 kickboxing fights. He's 2-0, and I know it's going to be a tough fight, man. But I trained with some really great guys in my gym, great teammates, great instruction, very hard and intense, and I mean, the skill levels there. Not being biased by any means, but arguably it's one of the best gyms in the nation. For sure, one of the best in the city. In my opinion, it's the best in the city. But there's a few other good ones as well. But yeah, man, extremely confident in my training, and my training partners have been helping me.
What weight class are you fighting at?
It'll be 125 flyweight.
You know, I've had opportunity to talk to, some of the guys that come out of Metro Fight Club, and they were talking about even like 135 just being stacked over there. Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of there's great 125ers there too. You know, it's just there's a lot of good training partners. Who are some of those guys that you get to train with daily?
So the main ones that are teammates and that have taken over as the coaching role, unfortunately, since our coach has passed away, is Adrian Yanez, who's in the UFC, 5-0, counting his Contender Series fight, has 4 finishes, and then 1 tough fight against Davy Grant, which, has a lot of experience. We also have Jacob Silva, who's also a flyweight. He's on the cusp of getting in the UFC soon, man. I know he'll be in there. We have Cameron Smotherman, Oliver Jimenez, Raymond Cardenas, some real good guys, man. They've helped me a lot, man. They've taken their time out to give me instruction. They give us good looks, and great training partners.
I talked to Raymond and I asked him, what do you get to do outside of training? And he was like, well, there's not really that much time between work and training. But he said something people may not know is that he owns, if he had to estimate, about 6,000 comic books. Did you know that about him?
I did not know that until I heard the interview. That's crazy. I remember I want to say it was Flash and Batman that he said he liked.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that afterward. That's my boy, man. We train. We both train at Metro and Active, and then we have another boy, David Tran. He also trains both gyms as well. But no, I didn't know that, man. I had a couple, but nothing to that nature. So that's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah. Can you describe your fighting style, I guess, or what are you trying to emulate? Are you still trying to find it, or what does that look like for you?
Ideally, I like to be all around, man. I like to mix it up. I'm big into being an overall mixed martial artist. I like incorporating both striking and grappling. I like striking a little bit more, but I really like grappling as well, man. It's the 4 major ones: Muay Thai / kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and boxing. I really like. I know there's a lot of other styles incorporated as well into MMA, like Taekwondo, Kung Fu, but those 4 are my main favorite, and just a nice blend of that, man. I like to really mix it up.
Yeah, you mentioned Oliver Jimenez a bit ago. He's about to make his professional debut for Fury after killing it in the amateur ranks, but he also just went and represented, I guess, himself, and for a chance to go compete in a national championship type thing, right?
Yeah, in Colorado, and unfortunately didn't go his way. I want to say he won 2 or 3 matches. I know for sure two, and he's a beast, man. He's actually one of my favorite training partners, man. He's very technical and calculated, but I mean, he could do some damage, man. And yeah, man, that guy has a lot of potential. Very, very humble guy too, man.
Yeah. What's the goal that you have for your career?
So I like to take it day by day, especially since I'm just starting. I'm not trying to look too far ahead, but obviously compete for Fury, which is one of the biggest region. It's actually the biggest regional in the nation as far as promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Do that, go pro. I like the belt in both amateur and pro, and just kind of take it from there. And then down the line, one thing I want is my own gym, and kind of help people, and kind of underprivileged kids with like self-defense and teach them some things, whether it's having them enroll in my gym or doing foundations and things that I have in mind, really kind of help them that don't really have the opportunity to do that.
I love that. I think that's huge. I look at, where I grew up. So we broadcast out of Lamar, Texas, which is where I moved to this spot when I was about 10 years old. And I think that's it'd be a huge benefit, to kids that, maybe they're fighting and I mean, they're not trained, but martial arts teaches something different. Do you agree about that? A sense of discipline.
Man, 100%, man. I mean, it's so humbling. I mean, it's like the saying, if you're the strongest or the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong room. Like there's always going to be someone better than you. I mean, some days you're honest, some days you're not. And I mean, like as far as my gym, a lot of my teammates and training partners, they have a lot of fights and jiu-jitsu matches. They have a lot of experience, so I'm definitely one of the lower ranking people there. And just, I mean, it's very humbling, like just learning it, just a discipline, just to show up, just the intense pace to keep up with, just the training resume as far as like, training hard and then recovering. And then you got to make sacrifices as far as like, it's not really smart and makes sense to like really go out and be crazy and party if you're going to train the next day, especially if you're doing 2 or 3 day sessions, so yeah, it teaches you a lot. And then like I said, it's very humbling, whether it's as far as from perspective of training or competing. There's always going to be someone better, smarter, stronger, faster, just overall better than you, so
yeah,
I feel it teaches you a lot. And yeah, I would love to be able to give back in some way down the line and help underprivileged kids. And that's one of the many formats that I want to be able to help them with that.
So you're making that debut for Fury, and that's April 10th on a Sunday. What does your training regimen look like right now, and how does that look from now till April 10th?
So Monday through Fridays, I train 2 or 3 times a day, for sure at least twice a day. Just primarily my sessions have been at Metro. We've been doing a few at Active as well, but since it's an MMA fight, and then I have a lot of, like as you mentioned earlier, like especially with the 35 division, it's very stacked at our gym. Anywhere from 25 to 45, we have some real great guys. And man, I'm just very grateful and blessed to be able to train there. And so Active is great as well, but just as far as, I mean, like I said, I've been at this gym for quite some time. So like I said, 2 a days, Monday through Friday. I like to really enjoy the weekend off, both physically and mentally. Although I truly love training, like I truly like it. Like, it kind of sad, but I consider like training and working out as like actual hobbies of mine. But yeah, just kind of now we're doing it. Already doing my weight management, really watching as far as what I'm consuming food wise, and just yeah, taking this extremely serious.
What about cutting weight? Is that something new, or is that something you always have been on top of, or what is that? How does that work for you?
Yeah, so for the most part, I eat pretty healthy. By no means am I, super health guru or anything like that. But like I don't drink. I give up fast food. I've never cut down to 125. I've done 35 for grappling matches and things, for grappling matches. I've never cut down to 25, and I'm an ectomorph, so like I'm a hard gainer, and I have a very high and fast metabolism. So I really like to eat, man. I'm a foodie, but also with that being said, I burn calories fairly quickly, especially with all the working out and stuff. But even if I go a few hours without eating, man, I'll probably lose at least a pound or two. So I
Yeah.
keep it on top of it, not underestimating it by any means, especially since I've never made that cut.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I've had Ray and David I mentioned, man, they've given me a lot of tips and pointers as far as with the weight management and cutting weight, and they've been super helpful. My boy Luke, he also fights for Fury, and he trains there another flyweight. Them three have really been helping me with my weight cut and giving me as far as tips.
Mm-hmm. And that stuff's very valuable. Those people that have done it before, and that's like their expertise. You just got to soak it all in, right?
Yeah, man. I just like to be a sponge and listen what they say. They've had all three of them have had many different forms, whether MMA, wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot of weight cuts, so I really trust those guys.
So let's say you weren't in fight camp. You know, it's the weekend. You're taking some time, and you want to have a meal. What's your usual go-to? Is there like a certain style of food?
Man, like I said, I love food, man. You can never go wrong with pizza, man.
Yeah.
I love pizza, like American style food, like burgers, wings. I could go on. I love Thai food, Vietnamese, ramen, Chinese food. Man, you name it. Greek, everything, man.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate when it comes to food, man. I don't discriminate by any means, man. All food's accepted with me.
Yeah. I have a buddy, so he's a musician, and they used to play South America all the time, and they would be guests, and the people would take him out to eat or whatever. And so I can't remember what he called it, but anyways, it ended up being guinea pig, and he showed me like a picture of it, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna eat that." They're like, "It tastes just like chicken." He was like, "Well, can you give me some chicken? Do y'all have chickens here?" Right? And I was like, "Bro, I would have tried it. Like, I probably would have tried it. Right? I don't know."
I used to want a guinea pig as a kid. I don't know about to eat, but
yeah.
I remember one time I was when we were kids, my sister and I were at the seafood restaurant and we were eating. And then my tia, my mom were just laughing. And after we finished, we thought we were eating shrimp, and they were just laughing. And they were like, "You're eating frog." And then like my sister was like freaking out. I'm like, dude, it looked, it smelled, and tasted like shrimp. Like, so what, like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's some things like fried alligator to me tastes like chicken on steroids. Like, and some people freak out about it. I'm like, it's an alligator. It's not like I'm eating like a squirrel or like a raccoon or something.
The guinea pig. Yeah, it's not a guinea pig, it's alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's me too. Like, hey, I'm willing to try it. If they eat this here normally, like maybe it'll be the only time in my life I'm down to try it.
Yeah, a lot of places. I like to be pretty open minded when comes to stuff like that. I actually love trying new places. I have some spots that I go to, same like kind of. Mm-hmm. Not continuously, but I'll go again. But for the most part, man, I like to try new places, and I'm big on culture too, man. So I really like trying foods from other countries, and I mean, there's 195 countries in the world, man. So plenty of food I haven't even tried yet, and yeah, man, I have friends from like I have two friends from Indonesia in one of my classes, and I've seen like videos and pictures of like some of their plates that they post, and it looks like stuff I've never even seen, but
right.
It looks
it's willing to go check it out, go eat what the local people eat, and just you never know if you get to see it again.
Yeah, and Houston being such a diverse city, they say we're the most diverse city in the nation, and I mean we have all different crowds and people from different countries. So I like when they have like the festivals in downtown. They'll have like the Colombian, they'll have like an Indian festival, they'll have like a Venezuelan, and I've been to a couple of those, and I've tried some plates and things that I've never even heard or seen before. So I'm a big foodie, and I have a sweet tooth as well. So that's been a bit hard, but just got to make sure to stay disciplined.
You mentioned UFC 71, I believe it is what you said, and it was Rampage Jackson. How old were you at that time, and what did you want to be before?
Man, honestly, I'm not too sure what I wanted to be before, man. I wanted to be a of things. I wanted to be anywhere from a lawyer to a veterinarian. I wanted to. I've always really liked business. I did restaurant management for quite some time. It's something I really like. Not necessarily love. I'm pursuing it at school right now. I do really like it though, but Yeah, that was at my cousin's graduation party, and I just remember like I remember I was I want to say I was like going to like the main dining room or something, and they were just watching that. I'm not lying to you, man. I literally just sat down and just watched it, and then we started watching like other fights too, because I'm pretty positive that was the main event, and we started watching like other fights that were on TV, and I literally was just there. Like I just got there, and they were watching that, and I just stayed there the rest of the night. And my coach, my late coach Sal Solis, actually coached Rampage and Chuck a little bit back in the day. So I think that's pretty cool. And that was that was their second fight, and Rampage won both of them. But that one just really got me hooked, man. I got really into it, man. Like I said, I used to watch like UFC, I mean WEC. I watched, I mean everything. Fuel TV on Versus. I started rewatching the Rocky movies.
Mm-hmm.
Other fight movies I started watching, man. I just really got big into it, and like I said, I enrolled in that kickboxing karate gym, and I mean it was a good gym with with all due respect, but like it was a little too family style for me, and I wanted I wanted the original Metro Fight Club location I enrolled at was the one up at 45 in Scott by U of H. And that one was like a rundown building, no AC. And I mean, you add like a 10-degree heat index to whatever was outside.
Yeah.
And I was working at Red Lobster at that point. I had two coworkers that trained there, and they were like telling me, they're like, hey, like, it's a good gym, but the coach he's hard nosed and he's tough. I'm like, man, I got this. Like, I grew up with tough love from my parents, and I was not prepared for that, man. Yeah, man, that was a different kind of thing, man. I mean, man, I definitely, I felt like I was like top 3 people that he gave the hardest time to, but I'm very fortunate, man. Like someone like him doing that, it's only because he cared, man. If he didn't talk to you, it's because he didn't care about you, man. He just was big on tough love, and he had very high expectations, man. So.
Do you think that's because maybe he saw the potential, or maybe you came in feeling like you knew more than you did, or you're trying to get the knockout and hey, you still got a lot to learn, or why do you think that was?
I mean, I would love to say the first one. I'm by no means I'm not a natural at all. I was very, it was not a natural at all. Very, like stiff and tight and just not good with technique. And so more of the latter options that you mentioned. But I mean, as the years went by, man, we really started to build a relationship and be cool, man. He was like a father figure to me, man. He meant a lot to me,
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was like late 2013 that I enrolled. And like I said, I was more of a hobbyist. I went to like KO power. I went to be fast. I went to hit hard. I seen like the guys on TV, and I was like, okay, I want to be able to be like that. And I really liked it, but not as far as like a career path or passion. And then just over the years, like I had a fight scheduled for May of 2017, and for whatever reason that card fell through, and which was kind of good because I wouldn't have been ready, man. He enrolled me in that, but I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and things definitely when I went my way, I had a lot of distractions. I wasn't really focused. I wasn't really in it. A couple more years went by, and then I had another opportunity in August of 2019, and I was training a lot, man. Like training quite a bit. I was doing it too much. I was doing like minimum 4 days, but like 4 to 6 days, 2 to 3 times a day. I wasn't working at the time, unfortunately, due to something I wasn't able to find a job for quite some time. And then I came across this restaurant management position with the original Ninfa's Uptown, and it was a salary position, man. And I had been unemployed for quite some time, and I had a fight lined up, and unfortunately, I had to tell my coach that I couldn't turn down this opportunity because they needed me right away at 6 days a week for the first month, and he was understanding. Him and my my assistant head coach Renee Salcedo, man, they were very understanding. They even went there a few times because they knew I really wanted to be there at the gym, and they would go see me, and I would talk to them, sort of treat them while I was working, and And then I feel like this time, third fight scheduled, I feel the third time's a charm, man. And I have a great feeling about this one, man. I really do.
How do you see it going? You have a prediction for it?
I don't, man. I not necessarily. I feel good, man. I'm just ready, man. I just see it going my way. I'm gonna be ready in all facets, all forms. Like I said, I really like to mix it up and I know he's a tough guy. I know he has, a bit of experience, but like I said, man, I feel I train with the best gym in the city, arguably one of the best ones in the country, man. And yeah, man, we've been working real hard, and yeah, man, I'm excited and ready to compete for Fury.
Is there anything else you'd like to share today?
No, I just first of all, man, I really appreciate the opportunity, man. You give us upcoming people, competitors, whether it's MMA or grappling, platforms, sort of showcase ourselves and speak on ourselves. I appreciate that, first of all. And just thanks to my family and friends, my teammates at Metro Fight Club and Active Jiu-Jitsu. And yeah, man, I'm just ready to put on the show and ready for April 10th, 20 days from now.
It's coming up quick. I'm excited for you. Hey, thank you so much for making time today. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, man.